Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Vietnam Stock Market's Opportunities. It's an honor to be with you today. And if you want to open a legal trading account, please contact us with the email Vietnamstockmarket.entry@gmail.com. Telegram Vietnamstockmarket.entry with the phone number is 8491-432-6556. Or you can also scan the two QR codes on the screen so that we can support you. And the other way to contact with us is please follow and subscribe the channel name Areca Capital Channel. The owner of this YouTube channel is Areca Nguyen. She's a personal financial advisor. You can contact her with the email home.nguyen@vcsc.com.vn with the phone number is 8491-432-6556. And we always welcome you to our office on the 11th floor, 109 Trần Đạo Street, Hoàn Kiếm District, Hà Nội, Vietnam. And today we're going to share with you about the Vietnam Strategy 2023. Let's continue with power and water, growth in renewable energy. We expect Vietnam's government to raise retail electricity prices by 10% in early 2023. Retail electricity prices have remained flat over the past 3 years. To support manufacturing activities and social security amidst the disruptions caused by COVID-19, the Ministry of Industry and Trade and EVN had to maintain an average retail electricity price of 1,864 Vietnam dong per kilowatt hour, 7.9 US cents per kilowatt hour in 2020 and 2021. In 2022, this tariff remained the same in order to stimulate manufacturing activities during a period of economic recovery. However, as gas and coal prices rose in 2022, EVN had to buy electricity from thermal power plants at higher prices, which led to its record 31 billion Vietnam dong preliminary loss for the year. According to EVN, as it expects to increase retail prices 10%, its revenue will rise 46 trillion Vietnam dong, which will only be enough to cover operating cost in 2023. Regardless of previous year's foreign exchange losses and the loss in 2022, we expect government will raise the retail electricity tariff in 2023. We also note that the PDP 8 draft November 2022 directs to raise its tariff to 8.1 to 9 US cents per kilowatt hour by 2030 and 10.2 to 10.5 US cents per kilowatt hour by 2050. Vietnam's historical retail electricity prices in Vietnam dong per kilowatt hour in US dollar and US cents per kilowatt hour. EVN's net profits after tax MI in 2009 to 2022. The current retail electricity price in Vietnam is 27% below average prices in Southeast Asia, implying more pricing upside in coming years. Vietnam retail electricity price compares to other countries. We expect CGM prices to grow 9% year-over-year in 2023 from 2022 high base. Per EV and GE and CO3, outcome PGV in 10 months 2022, the average CGM price surged 44% year-over-year to 1,487 Vietnam dong per kilowatt hour due to high coal and gas prices. We estimate to 2022 forwards average CGM prices of 1,507 Vietnam dong per kilowatt hour, more than 51% year-over-year. We forecast 2023 forward average CGM prices of 1,642 Vietnam dong per kilowatt hour, more than 9% year-over-year, which is driven by a strong electricity consumption, higher gas and coal prices, along with higher guided SMP cap, more than 11% year-over-year. For 2023 to 2026 forward, we assume CGM prices will increase at an average of 3.2% PA due to growth in demand and higher gas prices. Possibly tighter supply in 2023 forwards. Industry players expect a slightly tighter national electricity market in 2023, which is mainly due to potential national capacity growth of 4% year-over-year and 10% year-over-year in 2022 and 2023 respectively, compared to 10% to 20% in 2020 and 2021, and expected neutral weather conditions with less rainfall in 2023 compared to 2022. We see more risks for northern Vietnam compared to southern and central Vietnam. Northern Vietnam's power 2016 to 2021 power capacity CAGR was 3% compared to its electricity consumption of 10% to 12% PA, which implies a gap between demand and supply in this region. Additionally, guidance for 2020 to 2025 G installed capacity growth in northern Vietnam is 8% PA, which is lower than 2020 to 2025 consumption growth of nearly 9% PA. VCSC forecasts of Vietnam's power generation capacity. We project 2023 national capacity growth of 10% year-over-year, which is mainly driven by the Tai Binh 2 and Sông Hậu 1 Generator 1 coal-fired power plants. We delay our expectation regarding 4,000 megawatt of wind power plants to be approved for commercial operation dates from 2022 to 2023 due to slow progress of the new pricing mechanism. These power projects signed PPAs before the October 2021 FIT deadline, but their commercial operation dates were not approved in time. These projects are also known as traditional power projects. Recently, the Ministry of Industry and Trade released new guidance for a new tariffs calculation, implying that the electricity tariffs for these power projects will be regulated based on total investment cost to secure IRRs of 10% to 12% and no have longer specifying FITs for renewable power. As these traditional wind power plants are all located in central and southern Vietnam, Bình Thuận, Ninh Thuận, Bắc Bạc Liêu, Đắk Lắk, Sóc Trăng, and Bến Tre province. We expect a tight electricity supply in northern Vietnam in 2023. Weather forecasts suggest high probability of natural weather for 2023. The weather forecast illustrated in figure 468 of August 2022 predicts the probability of La Nina. Heavy rainfall in Vietnam ranges from 65% to 90% in Q4 2022, and the probability of natural weather is 50% to 17% in Q1 2023. We expect contracted volume ratio for thermal power and hydropower plants at 80% and 90% in 2023 forward, respectively. According to EVN and the Ministry of Industry and Trade, the QC ratio is targeted to decline to 60% before 2025, which is in line with power sectors liberalization progress. In addition, there has been guidance regarding the negotiation of the QC ratio between power plants and EVN power trading companies. Nevertheless, it seems that it's take a long time to put the negotiation into practice. Therefore, we expect QC ratios of 80% and 90% for thermal power and hydropower plants moving forward, respectively. Gas supply. We expect the risk of a gas shortage will no longer exist, while gas prices should increase 30% year-over-year in 2023. We maintain our view that the risks of a gas shortage will not exist thanks to contributions from import LNG. We expect the Tiva LNG terminal will come online in 2023, which will support Vietnam's gas supply as older existing gas fields are poised to the depleted in the near future. The average gas cost for gas-fired power plants will surge as the new gas supply is materially more expensive compared to gas from existing gas fields. We estimate the average gas cost for gas-fired power plants will jump from $7.1 per MMBTU in 2021 to $11.7 per MMBTU in 2025 forward, or an 8% CAGR in 2021 forward to 2025 forwards. This price increase is mainly driven by a higher contribution from the new Salvan that gas fuel with a gas price of $10 per MMBTU that came into operation in 2021. In addition to import LNG, $10 to $12 per MMBTU. Nominal rates of coal shortage for stock under our coverage. Coal prices to increase 10% year-over-year in 2023. Our revised forecast for Brent market coal prices for power stock under our coverage are illustrated discussed below. For our previous forecast, please see our Energy Sector reports Russia-Ukraine conflicts to support high oil price dated April 8, 2022 for more details. We expect material coal shortages for electricity producers in 2023, but nominal shortage for stock under our coverage. In fact, domestic coal supply by Vietnam has been decreasing since H2 2022. Vietnam estimates that on end 2022 forwards, inventory of 1.5 million tons, which is lower than the normal inventory level of 10 million tons, according to Vietnam. The reason for its dramatically lower amount is because coal demand has been increasing due to growing power demand, while the domestic supply is capped partly because of the government's restrictions on mining license approvals. However, companies under our coverage, PPC and POW, expect nominal shortages in 2023. Bloomberg's consensus forecast a 143% increase in 2023 forward benchmark Newcastle coal price to $280 per ton. In 2023 forwards, Bloomberg consensus forecast Newcastle coal price to decrease 23 forwards year-over-year from a 2022 high base. However, this is a huge upward revision compared to previous consensus of $115 per ton in April 2022. We assume domestic coal price to rise 10.3% year-over-year to 2 million Vietnam dong per ton in 2023, which is in line with our expectation for a 10% year-over-year retail electricity price increase. We believe this increase is due to two reasons. Domestic 5A coal price has remained at 1,845 Vietnam dong per ton in 2020 to 2022, which is similar to Vietnam's retail electricity price. In our view, this shows the government's effort to control inflation despite international coal price tripling to $400 per ton over the same period. We estimate the average domestic coal price was 29% lower than the average mixed coal prices in 2022, which implies unfavorable business conditions for Vietnam, while its inventory level is already low. We forecast Vietnam's 5A equivalent mixed coal price to increase 10.5% year-over-year to 2.6 million Vietnam dong per ton in 2023. We project 2023 forward mixed coal price to increase 10.5% year-over-year to 2.6 million Vietnam dong per ton due to domestic coal price increasing 10% year-over-year in higher proportion of imported coal amid a shortage of domestic coal. Going forward, we expect mixed coal price to normalize at 2.4 million Vietnam dong per ton starting in 2025 forward due to overall higher demand for renewable energy over the long-term outlook. According to the National Energy Development Plan draft for 2021 to 2050, September 2022 version, Vietnam's coal demand is expected to increase significantly in 2021 to 2030 to a peak of 127 million tons by 2030. However, the Ministry of Industry and Trade predicts demand to decline after 2030 as part of the energy transition process reach the goals for emissions reduction by 2050. According to EVN, the total volume of coal delivered to EVN's thermal power plants fell short of contractual terms in Q1 2022, which could reflect an insufficient coal supply. Nevertheless, the annual output of domestic coal production is expected to be 50 to 55 million tons per year by 2030. Therefore, Vietnam plans to import about 50 to 80 million tons per year from major global coal exporting companies such as Australia and Indonesia in 2025 to 2035. Gas-fired power is competitive with imported coal-fired power plants. Currently, imported coal-fired power plants hold 9% of Vietnam's total power capacity, nearly the same as the share of gas-fired power. We estimate the feedstock cost of gas-fired power plants under our coverage at 1,800 Vietnam dong per kilowatt hour, based on our Brent oil price assumption of $90 per barrel. in 2023, which is nearly 40% lower compared to the feedstock cost of imported coal-fired power plants of 2,000 Vietnam dong to 4,000 Vietnam dong per kilowatt hour, according to EVN as of December 2022. Yeah, and that brings me to the end of my presentation today about power and water. So if you want to open a legal trading account, don't hesitate to contact with us with the information on the screen so that we can assist you. Hope you guys have a nice day and thank you for listening. See you next time.